And typically, what I prefer personally is to have this guy, my point man, we'll call him, punching or jamming at the point. That way, he is a non-factor in any of the rub routes. If you watch the Patriots film from 2 weeks ago, you saw how Dennard, I believe, he was terrific at this and did not allow the rub routes to happen because of how well he jammed the line of scrimmage. And what happens is, if you do not jam, this guy's running him off, he's getting run off, and he has to come through, and we get what was essentially a very easy pass. Now, will the Broncos do that? Will they jam the line of scrimmage? They have. Champ Bailey isn't the most athletic guy, but if you put him in that 2-slot spot, I think he could do it still. 'Cause I think he has the ability to jam. He's not going to be able to jam and run. But these routes are not that long. You're not running for a long time in these routes because the guy just comes open. So you have to trust your defensive line to get there. And the way I'm looking at this interior offensive line, I think there's potential to beat them inside with Terrence Knighton, who I know very well, by the way. As a Jacksonville fan, it infuriated me. But that's good protection. This was terrific protection, and this was an easy route. This is the easy read. It's a great play call in the sense that, listen, our quarterback's a little wild. Things aren't looking great. Let's give him an easy pass. They're not going to punch the point, not going to jam us. This is the easiest route we have in our playbook. And you should run that constantly until they're willing to jam or they start jumping routes. And guess what happens? If they start jumping routes, I'm double moves. Counter again? Don't know what happened there. Everyone goes left. Russell Wilson screwed up. Somehow Lynch gains 2 yards here. That's incredible. Where's Russell Wilson going here, man? He forgot what the play was. Everyone else knew what it was. I like this exchange here, though. This reminds me of when I was coaching freshman football when the kids would screw up. It's like, I know this is supposed to be a handoff into the gut. So, if you watch an Eli Manning or these guys that improvise on the run, a lot of times this might have been tossed. No. This is like watching a freshman football practice where, you just taught them the playbook and it's like, okay, all right, quarterback gets a reverse pivot, you put the ball in his gut. Let's get the ball in his gut. And he gets it. Typically, it's a fumble or a guy falls down. Unless you have Marshawn Lynch and then he gets 2 yards. I don't want to watch a penalty. I want to play it matters. 2nd and 18, so it was a holding penalty. So, apparently on Javon Curse. Didn't even know he's still in the league. Good for him. I know it's not Javon Curse. Okay. Tight left. 2 offensive linemen that are not on the line of scrimmage. They're actually going to be going out for pass routes. They're more off the line of scrimmage than he is on it. This needs to be flagged. You can't allow this. Look where they are. His hand is not even, it's barely, what is this? Come on. What is that? Inside handoff. Maybe a little tell there for us watching. That was okay. Earlier it might have been a read. This is definitely a straight handoff. And why is this a straight handoff? Because when you do a read option, or in Seattle's case it is a zone read because they run zone, you do not want to block this guy, or if it's inside this guy, and this is kind of inside, so sometimes it would be this guy they'd be optioning. You get the cross block here, down block. They actually don't run zone on this play. They've run zone every other play. This is an ISO block scheme, an isolation scheme without the fullback. But so down block, he's pulling around and sealing, but there's no one being optioned, obviously. So Russell Wilson gives the look of an option when it's not an option. Yet it still somehow freezes. What's the line ball? Isn't he? Oh, yeah, that's why. Still, I'd prefer to have my linebacker just crash and take away the gap. Yeah, that's. I don't like dancing stuff. Just shoot, man. Just shoot. No time for thinking in that situation. Whew. Alden Smith does a terrific job, though. And that's why I kind of get the feel that offensive line is a good unit as a unit, but individually, when you put them in islands like this is an island play where each guy has to win their one. Instead of having that zone look where you kind of get help from your backside guy, your front side guy, giving a punch and taking the defensive tackle off his route a little bit. You know, this is an island. Each one's on an island in this position. And in the run game, it just seems like when they're left in that spot, they don't excel as much as when they're doing their zone run scheme. And I mean, like, you had the great block scheme out here. That's by alignment, the down block into the cross block, where he came down and he pulled around. That's alignment. You're getting angles to block. That's usually the best way to do it. And in this spot, you know, he gets beat. That's tough. That's tough to hold a block that long, especially in that kind of draw-ish. You know, it's a weird blocking scheme. You're asking him to drive block, but from a draw stance, you know, it's tough. Is that another clear out? I think it's another clear out. Again, trips, so we're not going to punch it. What I say earlier, leads to easy completions. It's a clear out. Fades under. Same exact thing. And it's easy. I watched Peyton Manning beat the Jaguars for years with Brandon Stokely, Marvin Harrison, and Reggie Wayne running the same exact thing over and over and over. And they would get 9-10 yards. There's no read here. There's no, oh, they're in cover 3, they're in cover 2, they're in man. No, they're in off. It don't matter what the coverage is, they're off the ball. And this guy has a free run. Now we have to have him. Look, he's even kind of shifting out a little bit while he shifts in. I mean, it's just easy. Probably the most run play they've done. You know, if you go from OTAs and preseason, they probably ran that play more than the other. Okay. I don't even know how long this was. This was OBS thing. Just over an hour. So a lot longer than I had wanted, but like I said, I haven't done any Super Bowl coverage, anything. You know, I just got back from the recruiting trip and all that. Why does the OBS do that? But anyway, thanks for tuning in. That was Seattle's offense. Like I said, I would like to do the Seattle defense later tonight. So I want to do Denver's offense tonight and split up it. I don't know. I'll whatever I feel like doing. If I have the time, they'll probably be a lot shorter. I don't think I'll be doing an hour. But what are we going to see from Seattle's offense? We're going to see that zone scheme, zone runs. We're going to see the fullback, and they're going to go into heavy formation. They're going to motion over a little bit. They're going to try and move the linebackers. They're going to want to obviously run the ball, and they're going to want to hit the play action passes. When are they going to throw a play action pass? Is it going to be immediately off the bat? It's going to be after Marshawn Lynch attacks. They want to go in those heavy formations to bring that safety into the box so Lynch can hit his 60, 50, 40-yard run. And I guarantee you that will happen. It just depends if the safety makes the tackle or not. And like I said earlier, I want Marshawn Lynch versus safety every single time. But he has to hit the hole. Like on that one of the first plays we looked at where he does not hit the hole when he has a 91-yard touchdown waiting for him. So you have to have him do that. But, in the pass game, stop routes. We saw a couple wheel routes. We saw the under route. A couple of pick plays. Nothing nothing really advanced from the pass game. And again, they're running 3-man routes and 4-man routes. They're not going into a, empty set and all flies. Playing man against Wilson is scary. And the reason playing man against Wilson is scary is because your corners are turning their back to a mobile quarterback. We saw Wilson get outside the pocket, and he wants to get outside the pocket. We saw one play where he's sitting in the pocket, perfectly safe. No one even pressured him, and what does he do? He bails from it. And, once that opportunity arises where he can leave the pocket, you got guys that are turning and running with wide receivers, and their eyes aren't on Wilson anymore. So, man coverage, unless that blitz, if you're running a contained blitz where the guy is taking off from the edge and just running upfield, push pressure in from the outside, where he cannot break, contain, and your inside guys are holding their gaps, then it could potentially work. But, you're going to see a lot of zone coverages, and that's because of how mobile he is. But you know what? I don't think the 49ers did blitz in the game, or if they did, we did see them blitz, and they actually got the sack. But they went cover 0, I believe. So you can mix it in there, but you have to get home. You have to make the sack, because if he gets outside the pocket and your blitz doesn't get there, there's no one even looking at him. There's no spy. There's no one turned to look at him. He's got a free run, and then you're putting your corner or your linebacker in the precarious position of, do I defend the receiver, or do I come up and make a tackle on Russell Wilson? Then you get that little pass that just sails over your head into the wide receiver's hands, and hopefully he's running out of bounds for a 15-yard gain instead of an 80-yard gain down in the sideline for a touchdown. But it can, you can put it in there, but, just you have to be weary of it. And I don't think it's going to be something you run every single down. But, Jack Del Rio, if there's one thing I know about Del Rio, is he's a bend but don't break guy. He'll sit in cover 2. He'll sit in, man under too high where the safeties are not in man, but they're, staring down the field, bringing the quarterback. That's, Del Rio runs a lot of that stuff. I think the big thing is stopping a run with a 6-man box. Can you beat the Seahawks offensively by having 6 guys in the box? At most 7 guys. If you can have 7 guys in the box and beat the offensive line, that's where success can come, obviously. That's maybe the most simple way of putting it. Because again, they're running 3-man routes, 4-man routes. It's not complicated. This isn't a very complex passing offense. So, you watch the Broncos or Patriots, a lot of moving parts. Their pass offense is drop back, play action. Drop back into a 3-man route, drop back into a 4-man route, drop back into a screen, play action into a corner route. We'll see.